Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Can a brand new real estate agent take 100 listings their first year in the business? The answer is yes. And in this video, I actually wrote down 9 points. And what is it that you need to do exactly so you could take 100 listings your first year in real estate? Point number 1. And by the way, they're all critical. They're not in order of importance. They're all equally important. Number 1 is you have to give up the need to know what it is you're doing before you start. Now, hear me out. You're brand new to this business. You don't know. There's so much that you don't know that certainly at some point you need to know. But if you get hung up on the fact that I need to learn all the contracts, I need to know all of the scripts, and I need to study the MLS, and I need to study tax records, and I need to know exactly all the details of a property that I'm calling. I need to know market stats. I need to understand the economy and how it impacts real estate. Listen, there's so much that you could get hung up on. And I can assure you, it's not going to help you take listings. None of the things that I actually listed to you here will help you take listings. Massive action without knowing what you're doing is going to be required. And I'm going to tell you what type of massive action, because you could waste your entire first year in real estate in activities that are not going to make you money and certainly will not get you listings. And then I wrote this down. You have no time to waste. Your job is to go after these listings and you learn everything else as you go. And before we go to point number 2, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I'm going to talk to you about prospecting, which is finding people that want to do business with you, people that want to sell more specifically because you're after listings. If you don't talk to people, you're not going to set appointments, listing appointments that you can go out and take. This is just plain common sense. Hear me out. Point number 2. You need to internalize scripts. And the very first script that you're going to have to internalize and master and become great at delivering is your listing presentation. That is going to be script number 1. Why is this so important? Because I have been coaching real estate agents for way too long, over 25 years, and I have heard this again and again and again and again from probably hundreds of agents. They don't feel comfortable making calls or door knocking or talking to people in general, because if they set an appointment, they wouldn't know what to do at that appointment. If you're using my scripts for prospecting, you will set appointments. And sometimes agents would even make the contact, have the conversation, make the call, but they don't really want to set the appointment. I know this may sound weird to you right now, but psychologically, subconsciously, they don't want the appointment. So even though they're talking to people, the fact that they don't feel confident in their presentation and they're nervous or maybe even fearful about going on these appointments will stop them from setting these appointments. So here's what I want you to do. Find a listing presentation script that is perfect. Well, I'm very biased. So if you obviously, I'm not going to be saying this again and again, but I believe mine are the best out there that you can use. And I'm sure that if you saw it or when you see it, it will make sense to you as to why. Bottom line, pick a script that is powerful, that is efficient, and model it. Model it. You got to make sure, obviously, use your common sense. You got to choose a script that works. And modeling means learn it, learn to deliver it powerfully. And how you're going to do that is every day for the first 3 months of your real estate career, you're going to videotape. You're going to make a video recording of you making this presentation to someone. It could be the same person every day. It doesn't really matter. This is for practice purposes. You're going to make a video and send it to someone, a friend, a relative, a coworker, another agent in your office, your broker. Find someone, not the same person every day, obviously, and send them the one you're looking to model. There is actually, you're watching this on my YouTube channel, there's a video on my YouTube channel. It's a for sale by owner listing presentation. So let's say, as an example, you would record yourself doing that presentation and you would send to this person every day, both copies, Jackie doing it and you doing it, so they can see what it is you're modeling, and ask them for feedback. You're gonna learn so much. Obviously, you need to watch yourself too, but mastering the listing presentation is critical. Point number 3, don't be scared to look and sound like an idiot. I actually wrote this. I made a fool of myself more times and in more ways than I could possibly. I wouldn't want to be talking about it, but it's happened to me over the phone, in person, and listing presentations, not knowing what to say, saying the wrong thing, getting hung up on, not taking listings. All of it, I've been through it. And was it fun in the moment? No, it wasn't fun. But you have to accept the fact that, yeah, you can't get hung up on that. You can't be scared of saying the wrong things and sounding stupid, honestly, because it's going to happen. And it's part of the learning process. It doesn't really matter. When you're prospecting, you're talking to people you don't know. Now, if you're talking to people you know, your friends, your relatives, if you say something that doesn't make sense, it's not going to be that big a deal. These people know you. And the people that don't know you, they don't matter. You're never going to talk to them again. But if you get hung up on this, then you're going to stop yourself from taking action. You have to, as we say, burn the boats. You have to be all in, willing to do whatever it takes, and know there are going to be bumps on the road, and it's okay. Write this down, because this is super important, what I'm going to tell you right now. No matter what happens, you won't quit. And as long as you don't quit, you're gonna win. You're gonna have the success. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Time is gonna pass anyhow. Do whatever it takes and you can make it happen. Here's point number 4. Expect that this is gonna be hard work. And this is so important, because when you're expecting that it's going to be hard work, you're gonna embrace the process, because it is. You're gonna have to put in a lot of hours, and I'm gonna tell you what your schedule is gonna be. And it's gonna be tough. But we're talking about 100 listings your first year in real estate. I know agents that have done that. I actually sold 25 homes my first year. I'm not one of them, but I know many agents that have done it. So it's possible. If somebody else can do it, of course you can do it, but it's not going to be easy. So when you expect that it's going to be hard work and it shows up as hard work, you're like, okay, yeah, this is what I was expecting. You embrace it. Now, if you're expecting it to be easy and then all of a sudden you realize, wow, this is hard work, then you get discouraged and you talk yourself out of it. And then some people do that. They're quitters. They're not winners. Winners don't quit. So expect hard work. Number 5. This is so important. They're all important, but this one, be very selective. who you listen to, and who you spend time with. People always, listen carefully, define others less than they define themselves. So if you're hanging out with people that don't believe that they could take 100 listings their first year in real estate, why would they believe that you can? They have a story in their head like, that is not possible. If it's not possible for me, it wouldn't be possible for them. You have to stop interacting with people like that. This is critically important. You believing in yourself is all that it takes. But we, unfortunately, human beings, we're influenced by our environment. So you need to select your environment very carefully and put yourself in an environment that supports the goal that you have, not one that's going to be continuously telling you that it cannot be done and all the reasons it cannot be done. Because you're not going to negotiate with yourself on these goals. When you're all in, you're all in. So your environment is critical. Point number 6. A lot of real estate agents talk about role playing to practice. I already told you how to practice your listing presentation. I'm talking about role playing scripts, and my clients in my SalesX training platform, they role play, but my clients are taking action. For you, first year in real estate, here's what I'm going to say. No need to role play. Role playing is for people that don't want to work. They don't want to take massive action. Again, over 25 years coaching real estate agents. I know agents, so many of them, they role play every day for half an hour, and they never talk to anybody. They're afraid to prospect. They won't take action. You're wasting your time. What the heck? It's like you want to convince yourself that you're doing something that's worthwhile. Role playing is not going to make you money. You talking to people, especially people you don't know, will make you money. I'm going to cover this on point number 7. You don't have time for role playing. You have no time to waste. Your job every single day is to talk to people you don't know. And that is point number 7. Talk to every person, everywhere. Yes, you're going to prospect over the phone. You have to be on the phone. And I'm going to cover this, but you got to get used to not just wearing a name tag, which you can if you want to, because some real estate agents do that. You have to have physical business cards. Introduce yourself to everyone, the employees at the post office, the cashier at the supermarket, the barista at Starbucks, the hairdresser, the people sitting in the nail salon, or your barber shop. If you're a guy, you're like hairdresser. Everyone everywhere need to know that you're in real estate, and you need to ask them, do you need to buy or sell real estate anytime in the near future? Or do you know anyone in our area that I can help buy or sell? You're going to take listings, yes. But if somebody refers someone to you that wants to buy a home, you can refer it to another agent and you'll get paid a referral fee. So it's not like you're going to throw it away. So everyone, everywhere, you need to take massive action every day, despite your lack of skills. Now, your goal here is to talk to a minimum of 100 people a day. It could be in person, it could be over the phone, it could be door knocking. I don't care how you do it. Talk. That doesn't include emails or text messages. If you text someone and they respond and you're having a conversation about buying or selling real estate, maybe we would be okay with that, okay? I need you to have conversations with people. You're not going to take a listing via text message. At some point, you're going to have to call that person. And that's what a contact is a conversation. If your text message leads to an actual conversation and setting an appointment, great. Otherwise, that's not considered a contact. And your goal is to set one listing appointment a day. Every day that you are working, that is your only goal in making these 100 contacts. And your secondary goal is to go on a listing appointment every day, Monday through Friday. On the days that you have a listing appointment, or 2 or 3, because there'll be days you will have none, and then there'll be days you're gonna have 3, or maybe even 4. Won't that be amazing? On those days, you won't be able to make 100 contacts a day. There's just not enough hours in the day. So in those days, a minimum, days when you have appointments, a minimum of 50 conversations per day. And if you're watching this and you're saying, oh my gosh, that's so much. We're talking about 100 listings taken in your first year in real estate. It is gonna be hard work. What are you expecting, to do nothing and have these kind of results? Now, on Saturdays, same, your goal on Saturday is 100 contacts. Sundays, 20 contacts. So you literally are gonna be working 7 days a week. Sundays is going to be a short day because you only need to talk to 20 people. And the reason for this is to keep you in the zone, in momentum, keep you moving. The payoff of the work you're going to put in is huge, not just financially. It's setting you up for the rest of your real estate career, and it will be a great career, I promise you. Point number 8, you need to be extremely efficient in preparing a market analysis, because you're going to be going on a lot of listing appointments, and you cannot take an hour or even longer, because I've heard of agents that take an hour or longer to do a market analysis. It's not that complicated. There are other videos on my channel where I talk about exactly how to do a CMA. It needs to be thorough, it needs to be accurate, but it also needs to be simple, because when you overcomplicate things and you have so much information, that's going to actually be confusing for the seller. And you don't want to have paralysis by market analysis, and a lot of agents have that. They're even afraid to set appointments because they need all this time to prepare a CMA. You need to become very efficient on this. And how you do it, think like a buyer. A buyer is going to be looking at other properties for sale. They're going to compare. Those are the comparables that you need to select. When a buyer decides to make an offer on a property, they're going to look at recent sales. They want to know, what is this house that I like that I want to make an offer on? What is it worth? What should I offer? How do they determine that? By looking at recent sales. That is your market analysis. I believe 4 active listings, 4 closed sales is plenty. And here's the last point. I already mentioned this, but I want to re-emphasize because this is the most important one. You got to go on a minimum of 1 appointment a day. And I said to you earlier, there are days when you're not going to go on an appointment, and there are days when you're going to go on 2, 3, or 4. You have to overall, you have to track your numbers. And when you look at your numbers, let's say for an entire month, you need to be going on an appointment every day. If there's a day when you go on 2 or 3, you need to be in front of people making actual presentations. This is critical. 100 listings in a year, it's a lot of properties. Actually, when you think about it, I break it down. Divided by 12, it's like 8 a month. 8 and, a little piece of 8 will get you 96 listings in a year. And then there's just 4 months, you take 1 more and you're there. So honestly, it's really not that much. That's just 2 per week. It's absolutely doable. And I can assure you that if you do what I just told you, you can make this happen. If you work hard, you put in the time. See, the massive action makes up for the lack of skills, which in the beginning, you don't know what you're doing. You've never done this before. You don't know how to have these conversations. Massive action will make up for that. And I want to close with this quote for you. Write this down. The harder you work, the luckier you get. And I know that when you put in the time, the results will show up for you. Make sure you comment on this video. Let me know if you have any questions. Like the video, subscribe to the channel so you're notified when we upload new videos. Click the bell next to the subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you soon.